One of the easiest ways to cut expenses actually is realizing what am I willing to splurge on and what do I need to focus on saving. And so if you love Starbucks and you feel like my day just goes south if I don't get my Starbucks fix every day, okay, let's put that into the budget. But maybe that also means that we are not going to the amusement park. That might mean that we are not going on shopping sprees, or we're not using our favorite online retailer daily or ordering from them daily. So that means we need to cut back in other areas. So I'm not saying that you can't do anything. You just have to be very intentional and specific about what you do so that you're not spending too much money everywhere. You just have that one category or that one item that you're allowing yourself to splurge on outside of your other expenses. But then I would also say one of the best things you could do is review your spending. Look at what you spent money on for the past month and say, okay, was that a necessity or was that a want? Was that a necessity or was that a want? And that will also give you a clue as to what categories you could be cutting down or what areas you could be reducing your spending in. Because I have people who I've worked with and they say, well, I don't spend a lot at all. My budget is really tight and I'm really mindful of my spending. And then we do this exercise. I'm like, looks like we spent an extra $200 at the makeup store this month. Was that necessary? Or do we already have makeup at home? And so a lot of people don't realize how much they are spending. So print out your statement or have a look at your statement of your spending for the past month and identify things that could have stayed at the store or you didn't have to buy. And that's a good way to start cutting your costs. That is really based on individual's comfort level. I would say no less than $1,000, but it also depends on your lifestyle. When I got started as a financial educator, $1,000 would have been fine because I didn't have children. I didn't have a husband. I was a single individual and I didn't have a lot of expenses. Now $1,000 is my monthly grocery bill. Now $1,000 is not going to cut it. I have a mortgage, I have car payments and everything else because of lifestyle inflation, which naturally happens for a lot of us as we get older and have families. And so you have to decide on where you are and what your monthly responsibilities and requirements are. I would say to be on the safe side, have at least 1 month of what your monthly expenses are. So sit down, calculate how much your life costs month to month, and aim to start with at least 1 month and then build from there. Ideally, it's 3 to 6 months. But I'm also realistic. And for everyone, they don't have the time to build a 3 to 6 month savings, or they feel like there are other things they want to focus on. So let's start with 1 and let's aim for 3 to 6 months of your expenses. And then, the goal is to continue growing from there. So I would say if buying a house is not for you right now, if the market has priced you out and you're in a position where renting is your only option, decide if you are living in the location that you eventually want to buy in and become clear on how much money you need to set aside so that you can buy a home when things cool off. And I would also encourage speaking to a mortgage officer or a lender to find out if you are home buyer ready. Because some people want to buy a home and are not home buyer ready. So find out what you need to do if you are moving into an apartment or you're going to be renting, moving into a home. What should I be doing to maximize this time so that I can be a home buyer or that I can be home buying ready when the market does start to cool off? Because as we've seen, it will go back to a buyer's market and you want to be ready to capitalize on that when it does. It depends on how much money you have in savings. One thing I tell my audience is you're most likely not going to get rich with your savings. So let's not set a goal of that. Your savings is there to support you, and any additional interest that you gain with it is great. If a person is living paycheck to paycheck, we just really need to focus on getting into the habit of savings and having savings there, and then exploring other ways to increase income so that you can boost and build your savings and boost your income so that you can focus on other ways of growing your money. Savings isn't necessarily a way of growing your money, it's the way of protecting yourself. There are certain stocks that perform well even in volatile markets. There are industries that perform well even during recessions. So this is a great time to do research to find out what industries have performed well historically during volatile markets or during recessions, and focus on putting your money there if you have that cushion available to do so. But a lot of times a financial advisor is often affordable. And so I would say if you can speak with a money manager at your bank, speak to a wealth advisor at your bank, speak to a financial advisor. Usually that's a perk of being a member of the bank, and they'll talk to you completely for free and give you advice based on what you can do with your money when they assess your accounts. So speak to someone about it too if you want to capitalize on this, because while the market is volatile and while the market is down, I look at it as the market is on sale right now. So I don't do one-on-one consulting anymore, but we did create this quiz over at my Fab Finance, which is my platform, called mymoneypersona.com, because a lot of people don't know where they stand when it relates to their money. So everyone has a money story, and this helps you understand what character you're playing right now in your money story, whether that's you're a level one where you're a beginner and you're just figuring things out, or you've actually mastered quite a few financial principles, and maybe you can switch from worrying about your financial stability to growing your money. And so that quiz is available at mymoneypersona.com. And we also have suggestions and resources at each step of the way where people are. So I just got an email today when someone said, this is exactly who I am. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and download the budget guide that you gave me so that I can focus on moving to the next phase of my financial story. So that's a great place for people to start and interacting with us at My Fab Finance.